My name is Bill Loney, and this is Seton Hill University Sports Center. Today's guest is NFL insider Chris B. Bacon. Glad to have you, Chris.
I'm glad to be here, Bill. I've been a fan of this show for a while now, and really honored to be a part of it, so thank you.
No problem. We're going to start off with a few questions today. We're going to start off with the question, who is your MVP this season so far?
So far, I got to go with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's got 35 touchdowns on the year, only 3 interceptions, leading the number 1 offense in the league. They got 32 points per game, and they're 10-3. They're just going to glide right into the playoffs, and they'll be fine. They'll make a deep run into the playoffs, and maybe even to the Super Bowl. So it'd be insane to not say Aaron Rodgers at this point.
Definitely good choice. Good choice. Next question is the Defensive Player of the Year. Who is your pick for the Defensive Player of the Year to this point?
To this point, once again, this is a clear choice too. J.J. Watt. He's got 14.5 sacks in 13 games, and he's the type of guy that just can, in one play, turn around the entire game. And he's done that on a few occasions. He's got a few defensive touchdowns. Just a real athlete. And if he's not getting the sacks, he's at least getting the quarterback hits or the quarterback rushes on every single play. So, yeah, that one's just clear to me. J.J. Watt, Defensive Player of the Year.
Didn't he also have an offensive touchdown this year?
Yeah, he actually had a few of those. So,
Yeah,
a very special player. Well, think about that. I'll keep that in mind if he keeps jumping.
All right, on to the next question. Who are your coaches that are on the hot seat?
Coaches on the hot seat. Well, every year on the hot seat, I'm thinking Tom Coughlin out of the New York Giants. That's a great organization, and you got to win now in there. It's kind of like Dallas, that way. They're 3-9 on the year, something terrible like that. I mean, their expectations are high. It's probably Super Bowl every year. So he's on the hot seat, and the other guy out of New York, Rex Ryan. Led his Jets to 8-8 last season. They had a nice finish, but this season they have a slow start and a slow finish. They're 2-11. They don't look to be going anywhere. I think they need to revamp the whole team, cut all the members of the coaching staff. They just need a completely new look. They have my award though for most dysfunctional team right now. So yeah, they need a little work on that. So Rex Ryan probably the main one on the hot seat.
That is a prestigious award. Chris
Yes.
B. Bacon's most dysfunctional team. On to the next question, we'll go, who is your best free agent pickup to this point in the season?
Golden Tate came over from Seattle. Now he's on to the Detroit Lions. He's over 1,000 yards on the year, 84 catches. Just been a great compliment to Kelvin Johnson and that whole offense. So, I mean, he's having his best season of his career. So you got to go with him. He's doing great. Gave my fantasy team some points too, so that's good.
Definitely. All right, next question is, who is your Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year. There's a lot of good ones. A lot of them are wide receivers too. Guys like Sammy Watkins, Odell Beckham Jr., Mike Evans, Kelvin Benjamin out of Carolina. But the one that stands out to me the most is Mike Evans out of Tampa Bay. He's got, I think, 54 catches on the year, almost 1,000 yards, but 10 touchdowns. Been one of the best deep threats in the NFL this season. And he's helping that struggling offense get points up on the board. So, yeah, he's pretty clear to me that he's going to be the Rookie of the Year. But there's a lot of good candidates in there, so we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be interesting.
Definitely. All right, down to the serious questions here.
All right.
Who are your top playoff teams?
Oh, all right. AFC, let's go here. I think the clear cuts here. New England, Denver, Indianapolis. Now the other 3, I'm thinking Bengals are going to be that 4th spot in the playoffs. And then the last 2, Steelers and Ravens, based on their schedules. A little easier than the rest of the teams, and both those teams are 8-5. So they got the 1-game lead on the rest of the AFC. And San Diego, I'm sorry, they're not going to make it. Probably one of the toughest remaining schedules in the league. NFC. Green Bay is going to go. I think Seattle is going to win their last 3, and one of those is against Arizona, which means they're going to win their division. So we have Green Bay, Seattle, Philadelphia will win their division, And then I think Detroit will sneak into the playoffs. I think Arizona is going to be there as well. And then our 7-9 NFC South champion is going to be the New Orleans Saints.
The Saints.
Yeah, the Saints. 7-9. That's what the NFL really needs to look into, restructuring the whole playoff thing. I mean, there's going to be teams like the Cowboys 10-6 sitting out of the playoffs possibly. And then the 7-9 Saints in.
Definitely.
Hosting the playoff game too, so yeah.
All right, on to the next question. The big one. Who are your Super Bowl teams and Super Bowl champion picks?
I say Green Bay and New England, and that was my prediction midway through the season, and it's going to stay that way. New England just knows how to do everything right from defense to offense. Just, I think, hands down, the best AFC team that we've seen. Completely manhandled the Broncos, who I thought was the top AFC team. But so I'm thinking New England out of the AFC, and then out of the NFC, Green Bay Packers, led by the MVP, hopefully, Aaron Rodgers. But I think Packers are going to steal that one. They'll win 38-28.
38-20. You heard it here. Crispy bacon. Telling you how it is. All right, for the last question, the juicy stuff. What is or was the hardest thing for a media relations director to go through this year?
Well, there's been a lot of stuff this year for them to go through. I think the one that stands out to me the most is the case with Ray Rice. That's just really touchy subject, domestic violence. And, they did make the right decision, the Baltimore Ravens, just releasing him, pretty much saying to the NFL, and all the fans that we're not going to deal with this at all. This is not what we're about. We're just getting rid of him, zero tolerance with that. So they made the right decision by cutting him. But I think that was probably the hardest one to deal with. Definitely brought the most attention to the NFL out of all the different things that have been going on this year.
Definitely. All right, everybody. That was the Seton Hill University Sports Center on Griffin News Network. Thank you to our audience, our producer, Alf Abbott, and our director, Carl Arm, and, of course, Crispy Bacon.
Great to be here, guys.
Good night.